Once upon a time, in a peaceful town surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a boy named Ethan. Ethan was known as one of the smartest students in his school. He always worked hard, completed his homework on time, and dreamed of becoming a successful engineer one day. Although Ethan was intelligent and hardworking, he had a problem that no one knew about. He was extremely afraid of making mistakes. Whenever he worked on a school project, he would spend hours checking every detail. If he made even a tiny error, he would become upset and start over again. He believed that successful people never made mistakes. One day, Ethan's science teacher, Mrs. Wilson, announced an exciting event. "Students," she said, "next month our school will hold a science innovation fair. Each student must create a project and present it to the judges. The winner would receive a trophy, a certificate, and a chance to represent the school at a regional competition." Ethan was excited. "This is my chance to prove that I am the best," he thought. That afternoon, he started planning his project. He decided to build a small robot that could pick up objects and place them in different containers. It was an ambitious idea, but Ethan was confident. For the next several weeks, he worked on the robot every day after school. At first, everything seemed to go well, but soon problems began to appear. One day, the robot's arm stopped moving. The next day, a wire became loose. A week later, the robot suddenly shut down during testing. Each time something went wrong, Ethan became frustrated. "Why do I keep making mistakes?" he complained. His father noticed his frustration and said, "Son, mistakes are a natural part of learning." But Ethan disagreed. "If I were smarter, I wouldn't make these mistakes." His father smiled and replied, "Even the smartest people in the world make mistakes." However, Ethan refused to believe it. As the competition day approached, Ethan became more stressed. Meanwhile, his friend Noah was also preparing a project. Noah's project wasn't perfect, but he kept improving it whenever something went wrong. Whenever he made a mistake, he would laugh and say, "Great, now I know one more thing that doesn't work." Ethan couldn't understand how Noah stayed so positive. Finally, the day of the Science Innovation Fair arrived. The school gymnasium was filled with colorful projects, excited students, teachers, parents, and judges. Ethan carefully placed his robot on a display table. Everything looked perfect. As the judges approached, Ethan felt nervous. One of the judges smiled and asked, "Can you show us how your robot works?" Ethan nodded confidently. He pressed the start button. For a moment, nothing happened. He pressed it again, still nothing. His heart began racing. The robot wouldn't move. A loose connection inside the machine had caused it to stop working. Ethan felt panic rising inside him. Months of hard work seemed ruined. The judges waited patiently. Students nearby watched quietly. Ethan wanted to give up. Then he remembered something Mrs. Wilson had said during class. "Success is not about avoiding mistakes. Success is about solving problems when mistakes happen." Taking a deep breath, Ethan opened the robot's panel. He quickly examined the wires. After a few minutes, he found the problem and fixed the loose connection. Then he restarted the robot. This time, the robot's arm moved smoothly. The judges smiled. They watched as the robot picked up small blocks and sorted them into different containers. The demonstration worked perfectly. Afterward, one judge asked, "Ethan, what was the biggest challenge you faced while building this project?" Ethan thought for a moment, then he answered honestly, "I made many mistakes while building it. Parts broke, wires came loose, and some designs failed completely. At first, I thought mistakes meant failure. But I learned that every mistake taught me something important." The judges seemed impressed. At the end of the day, the winners were announced. Third place, second place. Then the principal stepped onto the stage and smiled. "First place goes to Ethan." The crowd applauded loudly. Ethan walked onto the stage and received his trophy. But something had changed inside him. Winning the trophy no longer felt like the most important achievement. The most important lesson was what he had learned about mistakes. Later that evening, Ethan sat with his father. "You were right," he admitted. His father smiled. "About what?" Ethan laughed. "Everyone makes mistakes." His father nodded. "And what did you learn from them?" Ethan looked at his trophy and replied, "I learned that mistakes are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to learn, improve, and become stronger." From that day forward, Ethan stopped chasing perfection. Instead, he focused on learning. Whenever he made a mistake, he didn't become discouraged. He asked himself, "What can I learn from this?" As the years passed, Ethan achieved many successes. But he never forgot the lesson that changed his life. Whenever younger students asked him for advice, he would always say, "Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every successful person you admire has made hundreds of them. The secret is to learn from them and keep moving forward." And so, Ethan grew into a successful engineer, not because he was perfect, but because he understood that mistakes are an essential part of success. Moral of the story: everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes do not make us failures, they help us learn, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. Success comes to those who keep trying, even after things go wrong. Glowing Book Sparkles Trophy.